So you're ballooning merrily away at a party when up comes the client and says, but when are you going to do the games? And you're like, whoa, I'm only booked for the balloons. That has happened to me. Let me talk you through what I did and some tips that you might be able to use should this happen to you on the spot. Hello, my name is Joy/Fairy Liquid from the magical land of JingJangJooJong, hoping to entertain you to entertain kids. This little list of games and ideas is for when you've got a line of people ballooning and you can't break off from it, but yet at the same time, you're being asked to entertain these children unexpectedly. So this thing actually did happen to me. I was at a party. It was way back in the beginning of my sort of children's party career, and a lady had booked me for ballooning, and I was just doing some balloons. Everything was going quite nicely. And then she comes up and she goes, these balloons are great, but when are we actually doing the games? And I was like, oh love, you actually only booked me for the ballooning. And I had made sure of that because I had given her, at the booking stage, I had given her a ballooning package and sort of games mini disco plus balloons package as well. She had chosen the cheaper option, which is absolutely fine. So I said to her, you booked me for the ballooning package, the games and the disco, that's extra. And I don't actually have my kit with me now. But I could see a little bit of disappointment in her face, and she wanted her party to go well for her boy and his friends. So I said, but it's okay. I can throw in a couple of little things into the mix. Just want your event to be a success. And so we played musical statues because they had some music, and we had a dance competition, some other stuff. So right now I'm just going to go through a little list of games you can do. But when you don't have time to stop what you're doing and manage children, well, the first thing that I would do is give everybody a number. I would write on their hands, or if it's a small number of children, I'd just write the name on a list, and I'd write down what balloon they want next to their name as well. And if I didn't have time to break off even to do that, then I would ask the grown-up to do that. And then that would just free the children to not be in a queue. However, maybe you want them in a queue, which is fine. Just have to sort of position yourself so everyone in the queue can actually see you. Keep them in that queue as well. Otherwise, it could be tricky because kids will be coming in and out and you won't know who's next. And before it, you get, kids and then they're grown-ups saying, hey, you haven't made my kid a balloon yet and whatnot. You don't want that. So give everybody a number. Okay, and then we can let the masses free, but you can still bring them to you. And another really good trick of being able to gather the children to you, or even just to get them loosey-goosey, is to do the balloon release game. I'm going to do a separate video on the balloon release game because it's so simple and it's so hilarious. You just simply release balloons and the kids go wild. And that's something that I would do just to get them a bit excited. Now, you have to remember that you're not actually going to have a microphone. So that's also going to be a potential issue. So press stop on the music whenever you want to speak. Make sure that you can turn that music down. If you've got that option, you can control the music and the grown-up has given you a remote control. If you've got that control, then, just press stop, and then when you speak, the kids should hopefully be able to hear you a bit better. So everyone's got a number. We're going to play the balloon release game. And another one, of course, is at kids' parties, there's usually balloons everywhere, the round variety, and they're bopping them about. We'll make a game with it and get them to play Keepy uppies. So you can play Keepy uppies with your heads. And during all this time, you can still be ballooning. They can play Keepy uppies with their knees or their feet. You can change the name of the game to The Floor is Lava. So just don't even let those balloons touch the floor whatsoever. And it doesn't even matter if you've only got one balloon between everybody. You can still play this game, or if everybody's got their own balloon. It is usually nicer when everyone's got their own balloons. They don't have to share so much, and it eradicates potential squabbles. Maybe you've got some that you could just quickly blow up, if you just need a few more. However, I wouldn't go down that road if I were you, because then you will have kids saying, my one burst, or he stole my one, can I have another one? And then before you know it, all you're doing is blowing up round balloons. You don't really have time for that, so we're trying to avoid that situation. So do you have some music? Well, you can play musical statues, and you don't even need to play start and stop. Get the birthday child to do that. They love it. So get them to play start and stop, and get the kids all playing musical statues or musical bumps or whatever it is you want to play. If I've got a line of children, something that I like to do is the secret joke. Would you like to hear the secret joke from my balloon? And I'll stick that on another video. It always makes them giggle. It's just basically like just releasing a little bit of air. I'll stick that link down in the show notes below. Have you got music? Have a dance competition. Again, you can still be ballooning. What's more, If you've got your eyes on your balloon, you don't have to be the judge. Select someone else to be a judge. You can pick the birthday girl or boy. You can pick an older child. You can pick the person who's waiting right in front of you. Say, right, it's your job to judge this one. Or you can pick out a couple of the kids in the line. Say, right, just turn around. You're judging the other ones. You're going to pick out the person with the most effort. You're going to pick out the person with the biggest smile. You're going to pick out the person with the best dance move. Something like that. And then everybody feels like they're kind of involved and you can have a bit of a laugh and you're still ballooning away, but yet everybody is occupied. Do you have a plastic bag or a pop-up bin or a hoop or something like that? You can play balloon basketball. And so for me, I've got a pop-up bin. I would just make sure that that's empty of my rubbish and I'll just place it somewhere and say, okay, it's right, we're going to play basketball. See if you can get your balloons in that bin. Simples. If you've got really fab ballooning skills on somebody else's channel, but please do come back to mine, you will find tutorials to make little basketball hoops. Now that's a little investment of time though, so obviously you're going to have to come off that, make a basketball hoop, also get somebody potentially to hold it whilst the kids throw it in there. Same goes for volleyball. If you can have some sort of net, or if you blow up a couple of balloons, tie them together so you've got a long line, have two children at either end holding the balloons, or two adults or something, so you've got like a net, and then get the others to throw round balloons over the top. If everybody has got a balloon sword, turn them upside down and get them to play balloon hockey or golf. And finally, another brilliant little game is Limbo, which I should do a separate video on. Just blow up a balloon, give it to someone, hold, and the kids have got to go under it, and it gets lower and lower and lower. Again, these are all things that somebody else will be doing so you can carry on ballooning, so you shouldn't really have any stress over how it's going or anything like that, because it's not really your responsibility, but you're just trying to help out in a difficult situation. I do hope those things helped you. Don't forget to check out the show notes, because as time goes on, I'll be adding links to all the things that I've said, plus lots of tips and tricks on how to run games. I want to scoop out what's in my head and what I've picked up over the last 20 years and just put it out there for people who are like me, doing parties, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.